Prepared Homesteaders. So today, a little different video. I'm going to talk about spiritual preparedness. Now, I know that there are some of you that don't like this kind of topic. This ain't for you. You're not into this. You're not into the whole Bible stuff and all that. And if that's how you want it, that's fine. But that's what we're talking about today. So I'm going to give you a moment to kind of, find something else to watch today, because this video is mostly going to be directed at myself while I'm walking and looking at myself here, and I'm just bringing you along for the conversation. But if you're not interested in this, go ahead and find another video to watch today. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'll give you a moment to do that. So Matthew 24, Yeshua says that, and he's talking about the last days, the end of times, how it's going to start getting. He's talking about wars and rumors of wars. And he said there'll be various places that have famine. He's talking about this, about how bad it's going to start to get. He's talking about what we are going to have to go through. And for those of you that have been off to war, fought in various different conflicts, you know what that means. When you get the call or the confirmation or the pretty good idea that you're going to go off to war, what do? You start preparing. You start training. You get yourself ready. You up your game. You check your equipment. And you're going out much more regularly. You're getting focused because you're ready to go to war. You have to be, or you know what's going to happen if you're not ready and you're not focused. Well, we've been told throughout the whole Bible of what it's going to be like and how to know that we're getting into those times, and that we need to start getting ourselves ready. We need to start training ourselves, training our hearts, not just physically training. I mean, that's not what I'm talking about. We talk about that on other things, other videos. We're talking about that spiritual training. We need to get the closeness to be able to handle what we're about ready to face, and what many of us are already facing. It's going to be worse than I think any of us are prepared to realize when it comes to the spiritual battles ahead. Americans and most of the Western world has had it pretty good in regards to their faith. They have pretty much broad freedoms to believe as we want, and without very little persecution. And I'm talking about real persecution. I'm not talking about someone laughing at us or mocking us or, making fun of, something. I'm talking about that if anyone finds out that you have a Bible, that they come into your home and they rape and murder your wife and they molest your children and then they kill you. Yeah. That's the kind of persecution I'm talking about. And that actually happens. It happens all over the world in places. Look up what's going on in Nigeria, or how believers are treated in North Korea, or Syria, or Afghanistan. It happens. Even in China, the difficulty of just having a Bible. Blow your mind. We have it good here, but it's not going to always be that way. We are facing something that isn't a physical battle, folks. We are facing a spiritual warfare. Ephesians, we're told to put on the full armor of God, because we are facing a battle that's not against flesh and blood. And we'll face those too. But this battle is spiritual, and we have to get ready for it. And it's hard. It's hard for us. I mean, I go out and I do this every day, roughly 5 miles. And It's not always easy. You know, I'm in my mid-40s and I've let myself get out of shape. So I can assure you that it's not easy. But I do it, and I do it willingly because I want to. But spending this much time a day in the Bible and on my knees, it's hard. My flesh is fighting me. My flesh is telling me I've got all these other things to do. Oh, I just don't have time for that. I'm already behind on stuff. I've got projects coming out my ears. I mean, I'm never going to get caught up. We never really do. So I just don't have time today. I'll cut it short. I'll do it tomorrow. That's what we tell ourselves. It's what I tell myself. Why is it? Why is it so hard to pick up the Bible and get on our knees and commune with the Father? Why is it so much harder to do that than go out and walk 5 miles up a mountainside or, you know, whatever else we do? Because it's a spiritual battle, folks. We're not just battling ourselves. We're battling the spirit of that evil spirit, okay? And battling ourselves is that evil spirit. We're trying to die to ourselves. It's what Paul talked about when he was talking about, you know, crucifying yourself daily, circumcising your heart daily. This is what we have to do to survive to the end, to endure to the end, which is what Jesus, Yeshua said, that we have to endure to the end. And this is not going to be easy. We have this idea, and believe me, when I say these things, I am not criticizing any of you. I have it's not self-righteousness. This is about me too. We have this idea that we got this part under control, right? I'm a solid believer. You know, been in church my whole life. I've been baptized, been down to the altar anytime there's a call. My goodness, I got a whole shelf of Bibles at home. I even got all kinds of concordances and study guides and everything else. I got this. I got this. Really? You do? Has anyone ever held a knife to your little girl and said, you need to deny Christ or she's done? I don't know. Have you ever been in jeopardy of losing your job or losing your home because of your faith, or losing your life, or being tortured? How strong will your faith be then? Because it's very possible and likely what the future holds for believers. And it may not be in our lifetime, but it will definitely come, because that's what he told us. Our faith has to be extremely strong. And the amount of people, at least this is my opinion, that in the end have that level of endurance, have that level of faith, is probably going to be a lot smaller than you think. We are facing a very wicked world right now, and I don't think that anyone with any kind of level head and intelligence can deny that. It's been going on for a few years now, but especially in the last couple of years, the stuff that's going on. You know, in my generation, parents were criticized because they let their child kind of do what they want. You know, they didn't discipline their child enough. They didn't rein them in and protect them and keep them from viewing, you know, bad movies and listening to bad music. There was parents that were being criticized for that. You know, you just let your kids watch what they want to watch. Now it's different. The parents are forcing it upon them. They're teaching it to the children. They're encouraging. They're taking them to these places of vileness and disgust. And they're forcing their children. They're encouraging. They're teaching. They're training their children to be just disgusting and to accept these ideas. And it's absolutely awful. I don't even know how to explain it on here and keep this G-rated, which is always my goal. But you know what I'm talking about. We live in an extremely wicked world, and it's going down. I mean, it's making its rounds, swirling around in that, big white porcelain bowl. That's the world we live in right now. And it's not like it was in my childhood or maybe yours where, well, that's the world. All the believers, the people that go to church, them good Christians, they're the other side. It's not that way anymore. Most of the believers and the people that go to church are included in these worldly, repugnant activities. They accept it. Pastors that allow anything. If you're going to a church right now and your pastor, all he talks about is Jesus being a lovey-dovey big teddy bear, and that if your faith will make you prosperous and all that, you probably need to find a different church, okay? Or that we need to be tolerant to all these things because it's not our place to judge. It's not our place to point out that, we don't really know their hearts and everything. No, but we can point out evil, and we need to be set apart from that evil. If you're going to a church that teaches that, you probably need to find a different one. This world is getting pretty bad outside when we're talking about spiritual, our faith. And I'm telling you, folks, it's only going to get worse for us. If we don't get on our knees in prayer every day, and we don't crack open that book, and we don't become in that close communion with the Father, then it's not going to go well for us. Jesus said that we can be like him, okay? He came here, this all-powerful being came to this earth in flesh to show us how to live a life. He came here to be a blueprint, okay? That was his first time around. He came down here and he was teaching us, showing us how to live and gathering his flock, okay? And he told us that we can be just like him, that all these miracles, all these things that we're seeing him do, that we can do the same thing. This isn't just, something that's only for, for him. We can do it too. We can have that kind of power. Cast out demons, to do all of the amazing, miraculous things that he did. We just have to have that connection, that faith, and that belief. And that goes along with the works too, okay? Faith without works is dead, folks. You got to have them both. They work hand in hand, okay? It's not one or the other. When he comes back again, he's not going to be coming back to gather his flock, folks. You see, he is, according to the Bible, especially in Revelation, and I can't think of it, slipped my mind. It's hard to carry notes and stuff with you and walk in and forget things. And Revelation talks about Yeshua. He's a war captain, okay? He's a warrior. And we had this idea, a lot of people, that the first time he came, he was here to gather his flock and to cuddle with them and to love on them and make them feel good. No, he was gathering his flock and he was saying, this is what you need to do because you need to be in training. You need to be in training because when I come back again, it's war. When I come back again, we're going to war. And you need to be ready, okay? And if you're not ready when I come back again, if you didn't listen and do all the things that I told you the first time around, and you haven't trained yourself and hardened your heart and your mind and your body ready for battle, if you haven't done those things, then you're not welcome to be part of my army, okay? Because when he comes back again, he's going to come back as a roaring lion. Proverbs 28 says that the righteous will be bold as a lion. Bold as a lion. Lions aren't the biggest predator, okay? In fact, even a male lion, as strong as they are and as big as they are, a pack of hyenas could take them out, and it's happened. But what the deal is with lions, especially male lions, is their boldness, is their fearlessness. They go in and they have this confidence that other animals, even animals that could possibly take them on, they think twice about it. There's a couple of videos, well, there's actually several. If you get on YouTube, you can watch them. And they're out in the African savannah. And there's this one where these 3 or 4 lionesses have taken down a kill at some big animal, maybe a water buffalo or something. And these hyenas, and there's a lot. I mean, it's a huge pack of hyenas, probably 40 hyenas, come moving in, and they start attacking little by little the lionesses, trying to get to that kill. And the lionesses are trying to fight them off, but they can't. There's too many of them, and it looks like they're just going to get killed. I mean, there's 7 or 8 hyenas on like each one of these lionesses. And then the camera kind of pans over, and out in the distance across the savannah, you see something coming. It's a big male lion. It's only one of them, and he's trotting in. The camera pans back, and the male lion's on this side of the screen, the females and the hyenas over here. And as that male lion is coming in with his head up, you start seeing hyenas running the other way. The male lion's running this way, and the hyenas are taking off that way. By the time the lion gets there, he fights with a few of the hyenas for a very short amount of time, and then they take off and they scatter. And he licks himself and stretches and sits down and starts eating. And off in the distance on the screen, you can see probably 150 yards or more, you can see all them hyenas out there. Why did they do that? I mean, they were kicking the hind end of 4 lions. You think one more, and there was a lot of them. You think one more was gonna, make the difference? No. It's because they knew that they may win this battle, but they're gonna lose a lot, and I don't think too many of them were willing to take those losses. There's another video very similar where the hyenas have already made the kill, and they're eating on it. And this lioness kind of creeps up, very timid. She comes over and she's like trying to see if she can take a bite while the hyenas are eating on this big old zebra. And they snap at her and charge at her and fight her for a little bit, and she backs off and just sits there. And once again, off to the side, you see this male lion, and he comes just gallantly walking up, not really running, but just this little trot. And he walks up to that kill, and you know what happens? Them hyenas, they scatter. They scatter, and once again, you can see them off in the distance while he sits there and eats, and then the lionesses come over and they join with him. That's the boldness that he's talking about. That's the boldness that's written about in Proverbs. We need to be bold. We have that boldness and that faith and that connection. And when we face these evil things, when we face this spiritual warfare, that it will tremble at our feet, not because it's Travis the Wonderful or anything, not because I'm something special, because I assure you I'm not. They will tremble at our feet because we have the power of God the Father in our hearts and running through our veins and in us, so much so that we can do the same things that His only begotten Son did. That when He came to the man that was demon possessed, and they were terrified of Yeshua. They trembled and they begged Him for mercy, and they begged Him because they were terrified of Him. Do demons do that when you walk up on them? When I walk up on them? No, probably not. That means that we need to increase our training, folks. We need to increase our faith, because this spiritual warfare that we are about to take on, and it's already happening. There's already families being divided, and there's already this brother against brother stuff going on. Children saying you can't see your grandkids because, you're pro-life and, we're for choice and all this kind of stuff. It's already happening. It's going to get much, much worse. You don't have your armor on and your sword sharpened and your boldness to go along with it. You just may not make it out of this battle alive, folks. So when you're doing your preparedness and you're focusing on your skills and you're focusing on your beans and rice and you're focusing on doing the things like I'm doing here, you better be focusing on training your soul, because it's happening, it's coming at us, and it's only going to get worse. And if you're not ready, you're not going to be part of that army when it comes back again. When he comes back to fight that final battle, you're not going to be part of that, okay? You're not going to be welcomed because you didn't have his faith in you. Folks, get your houses in order. Prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually, because it's coming. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.